James Cleverly, who joked about spiking his wife's drink. I mean, I don't quite understand why any senior politician would joke about rape. It's quite extraordinary and demeaning, misogynistic and cruel. Anyway, James Cleverly has now apologised. The reality is that he is considered one of the contenders to lead the Conservative Party after Rishi Sunak loses the next election. He and Priti Patel and Suella Braverman, you can't make it up, can you? You can't make it up. A person who's been directly accused of bullying, a person who jokes about spiking his wife's drink, and a person who dreams about sending people to another country. The Home Office Minister had told female guests at number 10 that the secret to a long marriage was making sure your spouse was always mildly sedated. A little bit of Rohypnol in his wife Susie's drink every night, and said it was not illegal if it's only a little bit. Extraordinary. In what was always understood as a private conversation, James, the Home Secretary, made it what was clearly meant to be an ironic joke for which he apologises. Well, there are no private conversations, really, in number 10, unless you fiddle with your WhatsApp messages. Yvette Cooper said, spiking is a disturbing and serious crime which is having a devastating impact on young women's lives. It's truly unbelievable that the Home Secretary made such appalling jokes on the very same day that the government announced a new policy on spiking. Banter is I think never something to be encouraged. Banter is foolish. Banter is a cheap form of humour, like sarcasm, and I think one should try to avoid both. There's an organisation called Reclaim These Streets. It's an organisation that promotes women's safety, but it's really an organisation that should promote safety for everybody. Anna Burley, who is from that organisation, says James Cleverly should be deeply ashamed and needs to hand in his resignation letter, but instead he's handed in some sort of limp apology. Limp probably is a word that you might associate in future with James Cleverly. And the new spiking measures promise a coordinated police action to crack down on spiking, led by the Home Secretary himself. And they said the plan is to make it clear that Rohypnol and spiking drinks is clearly illegal, and that there should be no doubt. Well, I'm afraid the Home Secretary has already placed doubt in that if he talks about using an illegal substance to make a joke. But then he's not exactly in the best company, because is it not Michael Gove who talks about a past sniffing illegal substances? And when we know that illegal substances have been found on the estate of Westminster itself, on the parliamentary estate, in Parliament, it's just wrong. It's simply wrong. Inappropriate language, and it's not the first inappropriate language that James Cleverly has used. You remember, of course, how he referred to Stockton when Alex Cunningham was speaking, and talked about Stockton being a shithole. I think there can be only one location for that word, and only one location for which that word can be applied, and that seems to be the orifice that is performing the action of speech on the part of James Cleverly. James Cleverly needs to wise up and needs to get out of the idea that that this is the language of the barracks or the mess, because it's not. It's not. We know he's a jumped-up individual who likes to pretend that he's a soldier, but the time for pretense is over. He's now got a proper job.